David Gergen, political insider who advised 4 presidents of both parties, dies at 83. Cause of death and final words revealed. I tried to be a steady voice in stormy times. History will judge what mattered most. Washington is mourning the loss of David Gergen, a revered political strategist, commentator, and advisor to 4 U.S. presidents, who passed away at the age of 83. His family confirmed the news on July 11, 2025, sharing the cause of his death and his final reflective words. Gergen, known for his calm counsel and bipartisan wisdom, leaves behind a legacy rooted in service, integrity, and a deep belief in American democracy. A journey through the heart of American power. David Gergen's life was one of unique influence and historic significance. Born on May 9, 1942, in Durham, North Carolina, Gergen was drawn to public life early, earning degrees from Yale and Harvard Law School. He entered the national spotlight in the early 1970s, serving as a speechwriter in the Nixon White House during a turbulent chapter of American history. But Gergen's path would extend well beyond party lines. He went on to serve 3 more presidents, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, and Bill Clinton, becoming one of the rare figures trusted by leaders on both sides of the political aisle. Known for his measured advice, sharp intellect, and deep understanding of the American people, Gergen played key roles during times of both crisis and renewal, a voice of balance and reason in divided times. Gergen's value was never limited to any one party or administration. Under President Reagan, he helped shape a message of national optimism. With President Clinton, he was called upon to steady a young administration during its rocky start. Throughout it all, Gergen remained a firm believer in the idea that government could and must be a force for good. Later in life, Gergen became one of the country's most respected political commentators, appearing regularly on CNN. His voice became synonymous with thoughtful discourse in an era too often marked by noise. He also served as a professor and mentor at Harvard Kennedy School, where he led the Center for Public Leadership and shaped the next generation of civic-minded leaders. Cause of death. According to his family, Gergen passed away peacefully from complications related to a chronic neurological illness. His passing, though not unexpected, has struck a chord with those who look to him as a steady presence in a fractured political landscape. With profound sadness, we announce the passing of our beloved David, the Gergen family said in a statement. He dedicated his life to public service, to truth, and to preparing the next generation of leaders. His wisdom, his heart, and his unshakable belief in the promise of this country will be missed beyond measure. Final words in their announcement, Gergen's family also shared his final reflective words, a message that speaks to the arc of his service and the ideals he cherished. I tried to be a steady voice in stormy times. History will judge what mattered most. His family added, David believed deeply in dialogue, in the moral power of leadership, and in passing the torch with grace. Legacy and impact. David Gergen's impact on American political life spanned more than 5 decades. He was present at some of the most pivotal moments in modern U.S. history, not just observing, but shaping them. He worked with presidents who faced war, scandal, economic upheaval, and national division. And through it all, he remained a tireless advocate for civility, compromise, and leadership rooted in principle. Beyond the White House, Gergen left his mark in academia and journalism. His best-selling book, Eyewitness to Power, chronicled his time in the West Wing and offered lessons in leadership that resonated far beyond politics. He mentored thousands of students, many of whom have gone on to become lawmakers, diplomats, and public servants, a living extension of his belief in ethical leadership. Tributes and reactions. Tributes from across the political spectrum poured in following news of Gergen's death. Former presidents, elected officials, journalists, and students shared memories and messages of admiration. President Biden called him a statesman in the truest sense, wise, compassionate, and relentlessly fair. Former President George W. Bush noted, David Gergen believed in the better angels of our democracy. His counsel was invaluable, and his example will endure. CNN anchor Anderson Cooper, who worked closely with Gergen during election coverage, said he was our moral compass. Calm when others shouted, thoughtful when others speculated, we have lost a true gentleman. A family united in remembrance. Gergen's family has requested privacy as they mourn privately. In a public note, they expressed gratitude for the outpouring of love and respect. David's life was about service, not status. He was a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a mentor to so many. We thank you for the kindness you've shown and ask that you honor his memory by striving for the kind of thoughtful, ethical leadership he so strongly believed in. Continuing David Gergen's mission. In honor of Gergen's legacy, the family announced plans to expand scholarship initiatives at Harvard Kennedy School in his name. The goal to support young public servants committed to ethical governance, civic engagement, and bipartisan problem-solving, the very ideals Gergen stood for. David believed the future of democracy depends on character, not charisma, said his family. We hope to carry forward his vision through the students and leaders he inspired. Conclusion. David Gergen's passing marks the end of a remarkable chapter in American political history. He was a witness to power, yes, but more than that, he was a voice of conscience within it. His rare ability to serve leaders from both parties with integrity and to elevate national conversations through clarity and compassion made him one of the most trusted public figures of his generation. As we reflect on his life, we remember a man who lived by principle, guided presidents with courage, and taught generations to lead with humility. His final words, "I tried to be a steady voice in stormy times," now echo as a lasting tribute to the role he played in guiding a nation through light and shadow.